Baby, I'm afraid you might judge me for what I'm about to say, but if I don't let these words out now, I know I'll lose the courage again. Even imagining you reading this makes my hands feel unsteady. My heart reacts before my mind can catch up, like it already knows how exposed I'm about to be. There's something quiet and heavy living inside me, something I've been carrying for longer than I want to admit. Some days it sits so deeply that I forget how to breathe without feeling it. I keep telling myself that silence would be easier, that smiling and acting composed would protect me. But when I think of you, something inside me resists hiding. I want to speak to you the way people do when the world is asleep, when there's no performance, no strength to prove, only honesty in the dark. That's what scares me. I don't want you to see me as fragile, and even more than that, I don't want you to leave once you see what's real inside me. But staying quiet feels like slowly disappearing, and I don't want to lose the part of myself that still believes you might understand me, even just a little. I think about the moment you chose to listen, the first time you gave me your attention. I don't think people realize how rare that is: time, patience, presence. You offered those things without knowing how much they would mean to me. And because of that, I feel like honesty is something I owe you, even if my voice shakes while offering it. I wonder if you realize how much space you occupy in my life, not in a dramatic or overwhelming way, but in a quiet, daily way that changes how my mornings begin and how my nights end. Some mornings I wake up feeling hollow for a few seconds until I remember that you exist somewhere in this world. And suddenly the emptiness softens like a light switching on inside my chest. At night, when everything slows down and my thoughts become louder, I talk to you in my mind. I tell you about the worries I don't usually share, the hopes I keep small so they don't hurt too much. And even though you're not physically there, even though you may never know those conversations exist, they make me feel less alone. That's why this is so difficult, because what I'm sharing isn't impressive or confident. It's raw, it's unguarded, it's me standing in front of you without armor. I'm afraid you'll judge me because I don't always feel steady. I try to appear calm, like I understand life and where I'm going. But the truth is, there are days when I feel lost inside my own thoughts, days when I question my worth, not just to you, but in general. I worry you'll think less of me if you know how often I doubt myself, how often I sit quietly wondering if I'm doing anything right. I carry old fears, old worries, things that don't show on the surface but still exist beneath it. And sometimes I'm afraid you look at that and think, why should I care about someone who's still figuring himself? That fear follows me everywhere, even when I smile, even when I act strong. But there's another fear, deeper than all the others. I'm afraid that if you see how much you matter to me, you'll feel uncomfortable or pressured. I don't want to place expectations on you. I don't want you to feel responsible for my feelings. I just want to be honest about what already exists inside me. My heart feels like it's been holding its breath for a long time, and every time you cross my thoughts, it beats harder, like it's quietly asking permission to hope. And hope is dangerous. It's beautiful, but it's also terrifying because once you hope, you imagine. And once you imagine, you care. I try to tell myself to stay grounded, to keep this simple. I tell myself, you're someone I admire, someone I respect, someone I feel connected to in a gentle way. But my heart doesn't speak the language of logic. In its language, your name feels safe, familiar, like something that brings a small, unasked for smile, even on difficult days. I don't know when this began. I can't point to a single moment. Maybe it grew slowly through small, almost invisible steps. Maybe it started when I noticed that I care about how your day goes, whether you're tired or smiling. Maybe it was when your words stayed with me longer than they should have, or when your silence felt different from everyone else's. From the outside, this might look insignificant, just another conversation, another voice, but inside me, it feels meaningful. It feels like something I don't want to treat carelessly. You're not a passing thought, you're part of my inner world now. You exist in my quiet moments, in my private hopes, in the places I don't show easily. Admitting that makes me vulnerable in a way I'm not used to. It feels like opening a door that's been closed for a long time. Sometimes I imagine sitting with you somewhere quiet, not trying to impress you, not searching for perfect words, just being honest. Talking about fears, about exhaustion, about the effort it takes to stay strong all the time. Listening to you, to hearing your stories, your thoughts, your dreams. In that imagination, everything feels peaceful. Then reality reminds me that you may not feel what I feel. And that doesn't make me angry. It doesn't make me resentful. It just makes me quiet. I'm not saying any of this because I expect something from you. I'm saying it because honesty feels better than silence, because hiding your real feelings slowly makes you smaller inside. And I don't want that to happen to me. I'd rather risk being misunderstood than live with regret. Yes, I'm scared you'll judge me, but I'm more scared of never telling you and always wondering what might have happened if I'd been brave for just one moment. I've spent too many nights thinking about words I never said, chances I never took. Those regrets don't scream, they weigh quietly, heavily. Right now, this feels like one of those moments where my heart is standing in front of a door, unsure of what's on the other side, but knowing it can't stay outside forever. I don't know how you'll receive this. Maybe it will mean something. Maybe it won't. And that's okay. I'm not here to control your feelings. I just want you to see mine, the part of me that usually stays hidden behind calm words and simple smiles. You matter to me in a way that's gentle but real, quiet but deep, not like a storm, not like something dramatic, more like a steady warmth that slowly becomes part of everyday life. Even if you never feel the same, your presence has already changed something in me. You've softened me. You've reminded me that I'm still capable of this kind of quiet hope, and that alone is a gift. I don't know where these feelings will lead. I don't know what you'll say. I don't even know how much you'll understand. But I'm here, still open, still honest, still letting my heart speak even while it trembles. Some feelings don't arrive loudly. They enter like soft footsteps in a silent room, and you only realize they're there once. They're already close. They also carry the ability to hurt it, and I don't blame you for that. That's simply part of being human. Still, my heart hesitates and then it moves forward anyway. Sometimes I ask myself, why you? Not in a doubtful way, not with confusion or regret, but with quiet curiosity. What is it about you that my thoughts keep returning to? And the answer is never simple. It isn't just what you say, it isn't just how you exist. It's the feeling you create without effort, a calm that somehow carries a little nervousness with it, a warmth that comes with just enough fear to remind me it matters, a feeling that makes my heart pay attention instead of drifting. You might not realize how powerful it is to simply be kind, to listen without rushing, to exist in a way that makes another person feel less alone. You may think you're just being yourself, and maybe you are, but sometimes that's enough to quietly shift someone's inner world. You've done that to mine, not dramatically, not loudly, but in a way that has made me more aware of my own emotions, more honest with myself, more open to the truth that my heart is still capable of caring deeply. There are days when I feel strong and days when I feel like I'm only playing the role of someone strong. Days when I trust myself and days when doubt settles in quietly and questions everything. And on those uncertain days, your presence in my thoughts feels like a place to rest. You don't need to say anything, just knowing you exist somewhere, your life, carrying your own thoughts and feelings makes the world feel lighter. I worry you'll judge me, that you'll think I'm attaching too much meaning to something simple, that I'm building a story in my mind that doesn't truly exist. And maybe in some ways that's true, but feelings aren't stories we choose to write. They're experiences we discover already unfolding inside us. I didn't decide to feel this way. I just noticed one day that my heart had already arrived here. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like if we spoke without walls, without careful wording, without the fear of being misunderstood. Just two imperfect people being honest in their own ways. I imagine telling you about my past, the mistakes, the lessons, the things I wish I had handled differently. And I imagine listening to you not to judge or fix, but simply to understand. Those moments of imagination, everything feels uncomplicated and real. Then reality gently reminds me that life is rarely that simple.